Once again, it's on. We are back once again. What episode is
Indeed.
this, man?
101,
101?
man.
102?
One,
101.
101
Look,
in the building, bro. 101 in
I
the
lose
building,
track, my
man.
brother.
So,
But hey, it's great
hey,
to be
man.
here on this Saturday.
Yes, indeed.
Sunday, that is. My bad, Sunday. I'm already thinking about
Come
Saturday,
on, look,
man.
he's starting off wrong, guys. He's starting off wrong.
I'm thinking about college football starting on Saturday, man. We need it
Hey,
bad. Oh my
well,
gosh.
well, well, listen. Listen. Shouts out to high school football
Oh yeah.
that started.
Yes.
Hey, man. I'm here in the Orlando area. Jones High
Is
School is
Armwood? Is
looking.
Armwood your area? You guys represent Armwood?
Nah, not Armwood. That ain't my area.
I thought
But
Armwood was Orlando because Armwood came down here and put the business on Norland. Oh my gosh!
hey, yeah, they did. They did, and I'm just happy high school sports are back. That means college and of course NFL is
Yeah,
around the corner, for
yeah.
sure. So I'm excited. I'm gonna be going to some. Hey, listen, they're gonna be like, listen, we'll lump at a high school
I'm with
football
you,
game
man.
somewhere on
I'm
a
out.
Friday.
Hey,
You,
I'm
you,
gonna
you know
be
what I
out the
mean? So,
house, going to high school
hey,
games, college games, everything, man.
hey,
It should be
listen,
fun.
shout out to Jones High School here in Orlando, Florida. Took care of
Hey, you know
Seminole.
that quarterback is ours, Coleman.
Which one?
Jones quarterback.
From
Coleman is ours.
from where? Y'all ours is
Coleman
from.
Jones.
But
Jones.
when you say he's ours that's in what team are you talking about? Oh, he's a universal, really?
We got on him early. Mario saw him, was like, yeah, I want that guy. Yeah,
He's
Coleman's
nice,
ours.
but listen, the receiver that he was supposed to be to go to UM, but he has ties in Florida. His brother
Okay.
went there, his father went there, so that's
Okay.
why he committed. And when I say that boy nasty,
Oh, he's
hey,
nasty.
that
What's
boy
his name?
nasty.
What's his name? I
I,
got you. Yeah, if you
I'll
get
look
his
it
name,
up here
text it to me. I
shortly.
gotta check him out.
Yeah, he's real nice. He had a kick return and two receiving touchdowns. You know what I mean? And
Nice.
guess who
I
was
heard
that?
Jones got a
And
squad
guess
this year, so we'll see.
yeah. But we'll see how far they go. And
Yeah,
Devin Hester was in the building too though as well. He was at
he
the
was
game.
nice,
Yeah, he
nice,
was on the sidelines, so
nice.
doing his thing. But
What's
shouts
been
out
going on
to
the
that,
last
man.
week, man? Since we've been
Huh?
on, what has it been? The Olympics, Olympic stuff.
Yeah,
No
Olympic
allows.
stuff. No, hey, listen, no allows, bro. Let's talk about that real quick.
Did you
Between
see his interview on Shannon Sharp?
I would just watched it last night.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on it? Get it, debrief the people on kind of the
Okay.
synopsis
And
behind it.
guys, this is not one of our topics, by the way, but we just
It's not.
recapping you guys what's going on.
It's not.
Look,
Yeah.
it's Lyles. Look, man, I want to like Lyles. I really do. Lyles comes across as just very bitter and
What is he bitter about?
he's bitter that he's not as big a star as he thinks he should be running track. And he's bitter that he feels like he should basically be the LeBron James on a level of LeBron James because of what he's accomplished. Even after listening to the Shannon Sharp interview, I can really tell that, okay, this guy, he's like, man, why am I not getting the same love as LeBron? Because I am the man in track in the world. Worldwide, I'm the fastest man in the world. But, I'm still getting second class treatment, with the whole Anthony Edwards situation where I guess Adidas told him, hey, why don't you come to his shoe unveiling? And he's like, so
I
a
should
lot of
have
it,
my own
unfortunately, is
shoe.
ego.
I should have
Huh?
my own shoe.
Exactly.
He said he
A lot
should
of
have
it
his
is
own shoe.
ego. I feel
Yeah.
bad for the brother because at the end of the day, man, he is the man right now in track across in the world, right? I don't care what anybody says. If he didn't have COVID, he would have won a 200. You could tell something was wrong. You could tell something was wrong with him. You could tell
Hey,
something was wrong.
listen, excuses like, everybody got excuses about things. Yeah, I understand
Yeah,
it. But when we talk about Jordan had the flu, Jordan had that one game and still went out the ball. I think it's bullshit. It's excuses. You know what I
I
mean?
agree. I
Hold on.
agree.
People can make up excuses. Hey, listen, I didn't have a car. I didn't have clothes. I didn't have a way to kind of make things happen. But guess what? They're excuses. Tony Robbins
I
talks about
agree.
it.
He should have.
I watched one of
I
his
agree.
one of his motivational speeches, and it's kind of like, listen, we always make up excuses of things, and one may say, hey, bro, you just been too hard. He had a symptom, he had this, he had a
Exactly.
situation. But listen, again, but there's someone else with that same thing that person have, and guess what? They overcame what they
I
had. So I,
agree.
I think it's excuses at the end of the day. To be honest, that's just my two
Well,
cents.
I mentioned to follow this brother's career. I think he's got one more. I think he's got one more Olympic. What up? What up, G Money? I think he's got one more. I think he has one more Olympics left in him in 2028. So he got another shot to go for the double, to get the 100 and the 200. So we'll see. I guess what else has happened over the last 2 weeks that's noteworthy? Trying to, outside of our topics, that is just doing a.
Listen, I know y'all can't see my face. I was sitting in the background, and I was like, dude, I'm trying to get my life together so I don't come in looking a mess. But I'm gonna tell you something right now. I just wanted to say something. I want everybody that can hear my voice. First of all, this is G Money. This is GJH Writing Camp, aka Mr. Goodball. You know what I mean? All I'm gonna tell you is this: what makes the great is the ability to overcome things. Right? At the end of the day, Noah Lyles didn't overcome his adversity.
Well, he did in the 100. He had COVID during the 100.
Well, here's what I'm saying though. The goal
What
wasn't
about the 200?
Wasn't about the 100, right? The goal was he was supposed to all that shit he talked.
1 and 2. It's mine.
Gold, right?
Mm-hmm.
Gold all in my neck, gold all in my head. You know what I mean? He was supposed to come back with gold. Now here's what I'm saying, dude. It's completely okay that he didn't do it, right? Because only one person was going to win that gold medal, and it just happened to not be him. Mm-hmm. The problem is that Bruddy is sitting up here right now, bitching and moaning and complaining about privilege that he wants to have, but he didn't earn it. Right?
Oh, he got the 100. Winning the 100 alone gets you that privilege.
Nah, don't.
Nope.
You don't become LeBron
wait. Not the way
James for winning the 100, bro.
Nah, bro, you got to do all around.
The fastest man in the world always gets precedence. Everybody knows that. Come on, guys.
Listen,
you guys know that. Ben Johnson. How do you know Ben Johnson?
Hold on. Let me say this, and I'm gonna know Noah Lyles, and so are my kids, and so are my kids' kids. But here's what I'm saying: was Michael Johnson or anybody else that won the 100 Michael Jordan? No.
That's the name I was finna bring up. Michael Johnson. He did it all. But anyway, proceed.
He wasn't, but he got the love. Wasn't Michael Jordan.
He got. I don't know if he wants. I don't know if Lyles wants to be Michael Jordan, but I just think.
Hey,
I guess
Lyles said he said on the show.
James comment. You mentioned the LeBron James comment. So that's why
he said he's gonna push for the 400.
Because he keeps shooting shots at the NBA, and I don't know why he keeps shooting shots at the NBA.
I agree with that. I don't know why he's just making it about the NBA. Now, if he said all sports, baseball, football, NBA, none of them should consider themselves world champions, I would agree. But it seems like he has a personal issue with the NBA for some odd reason. I don't know why.
And that's what I'm saying. And that's why Buddy is wrong. Because what them NBA players go through, bro, he ain't doing that. Yeah. He ain't doing that, bro. He's not LeBron James. He's not. I mean, listen, maybe the Anthony Edwards thing, maybe he feels slighted because it's like Anthony Edwards ain't even the champion yet. But Anthony Edwards came home with gold medal too. Right? So, I mean, I just think Buddy is. I think his immaturity is showing, right? And I'm gonna just chalk it up to immaturity.
Hey, Aaron, what's up? I see you, homie. Thank you for joining.
I want to see a better version at another time. That's all I'm saying, people.
Yeah, no, Aaron, I agree with you. I think coming back with the 100-meter gold is enough for him to get, recognition, any kind of recognition that he deserved. Now, should he get his own shoe? No. Because Shannon Sharp said only 2 track athletes has ever, and we're not going to spend too much time on this topic, but only 2 track athletes have ever gotten their own shoe, and that's Usain Bolt and Michael Johnson. Yeah, Michael Johnson. Yeah. And Lyles has not done what either one of them have done yet. Johnson won 200 and 400, and Usain Bolt won the 100, 200 3 straight times, 3 straight Olympics. So while I agree, he shouldn't get his own shoe, but he should get the respect. I do agree. He should get some respect.
What respect though? What
being the fastest man in the world? He's the fastest man, and he would have won a 200 without. If he didn't have, he would have. Come on, man. And we would have won the 4x1 100 relay, but I don't want to talk about that because I don't want to get angry about the jokers keep dropping the baton.
He didn't want to talk about it that either. He said, "I'm not going to talk about it. I don't want to throw anybody under the bus."
That was so disappointing for them jokers.
The way they changed, they had old boy. But anyway,
let's change the subject. So, shout out to Noah Lyles. I like him. Yeah. I don't know why he's waging war against the NBA. It's my only thing. Wage war against all the sports,
Well,
not just
listen,
the
what
NBA.
last point on that.
Uh-huh.
If he conquered, because he was talking big boy trash, hey, the 200 is my race, 200 is my race, yada yada, but he didn't get it done. He was talking, he was writing checks that his ass couldn't cash.
I agree.
Point blank period.
Winning
You
both is
understand? I'm
very
gonna get
hard.
the 200. I'm gonna get the 100, and I think he exerted so much energy on the
I
100,
agree. I
trying to
agree.
beat old boy. Well, who was Kermit? What's his name?
Thompson.
Uh,
Thompson from Jamaica.
not Thomas, the other American guy.
Well, you mean Curly?
Curly.
Thompson was the main competition. Curly,
I
he's good, but
he was up there, but he didn't get it
it'll
done.
be
He was
fun
what,
though.
third? He came in third, right?
He was third. Curly came third. He's making us talk about track, which he won, I guess. Because we're still talking about track right now. So I'll give it to him. So shout out to Noah Lyles. But
Listen, can I just say one last thing?
Yeah, go ahead. You can close it out. Go ahead.
I want to say one last thing because I want to make it clear, right? In my personal opinion, I don't think that this is one of those situations where the brother ain't getting the respect that he deserves because in some way, shape, or form, we're not giving him love for winning the 100, right? The problem is that what he thinks he deserves is something totally different than what. And if he would just stop bitching and moaning and let people give him some kudos and let people show him some love, let's see where it goes. But he's already in his bag right now. Like, bro, you just got back. You just got back. So my thing is, he's been shooting shots at the NBA, and I did want to give a shout out because I think Carmelo Anthony had one of the dopest takes on this, and he said the exact same thing, which is, bro, don't shoot shots at the league for what?
Yeah, exactly.
He was like, listen, here's what you should be doing. Get mad that you don't have your own platform in the U.S. and make them jokers give y'all a platform similar to what every other league and every other competitive sport has. Put your energy into that. Stop putting your energy into like downing another man's sport and another woman's sport or another sport period, in which they're being competitive and they've done the due diligence to earn the right to have the league that they have, right?
Yeah.
I agree. It shows in the return on the investment. You know what I mean?
Shout out to Melo. I did see that clip on Melo, and Melo was giving us a good game. Hopefully, Lyles listens. If he doesn't, then hey, man, we'll see him in LA in 2028. We'll see him in 4 years.
Hey, listen, I just love his hunger. I love, you know what I mean? He reminds me of old girl, Richardson. But she wasn't in her bag far as showboating and doing all the things that got her there. I think hold on.
Let's more credit than that.
Let's not go too far into the track.
But hold on. But she got second. I give her good credits to that. I would have preferred her to get first, of course, but she wasn't her normal self. You know what I mean? She got second. Will she be back next year? Yes. You understand? She will be. And I think she'll take gold. But she wasn't her usual self. And that's why I think part of that, she was in her own head and in that regard. I'm pretty sure the nerves and all that kind of stuff got to her, the big stage. But she should have got in and been her normal self, so.
All I
want to go. Women's and men's basketball teams. 2 great games.
Yes.
Shout out. And
that women's game was a great game. Oh man,
yeah.
Great game last
night. I want to say something about that, right? And not to elongate any of this, right? I'm gonna do this. I'm sorry, I got to steal it and put this in there. I want to give credit to Sha'Carri Richardson because when she got denied access, she took ownership of the situation, and she did what she had to do, and she came back and she performed her ass off, and listen. She's got a moment that's going to go down in Olympic history forever. That look to the left with the little smirk on her face and then the jets going on. Dude, that's going to be one of them things, bro. That's going to be one of them things.
Hey, that's a meme. That's a whole meme now. It's a whole meme, and I'm finna use it next week.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, shouts out to her.
As it relates to this basketball thing, I wanted to make one quick comment, right?
Go ahead.
The dream team was the dream team for a reason, right? And I say that because, dude, we're never gonna see another team dominate the world the way the dream team did, right? I want people to understand when we start talking about which team is better, right? I hear all of the debates, right? I have my personal opinion. I'm not going to get into that because that'll take us on a whole nother tangent. But what I do want to say is I want to say, listen, guys, the dream team was established for a reason. It did what it was supposed to do. It accomplished its goal and its purpose. There's no other team in the future moving forward that I can see that will dominate the world the way the dream team did. So every other country has gotten better. And even though we've gotten better and we've maintained our dominance, right? Dude, there are NBA players from other countries. They're getting coached by the best of the best now, right? So that's what competition is. It's supposed to get closer, right? The sport wouldn't be doing as well financially if it wasn't worldwide and doing the things it's doing. So I want people to stop thinking that if we're not blowing people out by 50 points a game, that it's not a successful run, right? I've heard people saying this, man. Listen, shut that shit up. These boys out there playing ball against players that can play, right? The Sudan should have set a statement for everybody. And it wasn't that the U.S. was trash. It's that there are guys out there right now playing ball you've never heard of that would do some damage in the league, right? Like there are ball players everywhere. And I just want to shoot that out there because, dude, the days of winning games by 50 points in the Olympics are over. That was a moment, and the reason why that was such an important moment was because it'll never be done again.
Agreed.
Yeah, shouts out to Courtney. Yeah, that meme is going to be a goal for goal setting. And it's going to go down to history, and it has gone down to history so far. But you know, I
Nice.
want to see how it will pan out moving
Yeah.
forward for the next few years, because that is one to say, like, it was like, man, it was a bold move. It was yeah, I know I got this. Why you in this race? This is, you know who I am. Like, it said so much stuff that,
Agreed.
you know,
Look forward to
it was
look forward to
powerful.
watching both of them over the next 4 years. But let's get to these
Yeah.
topics because we got
Listen.
3 hot topics. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Which one we want to do first?
No, we already know. Mr.
Okay.
G-Man, Mr. G-Man, this was one of his topics. And I
Okay,
thought
let's get to it.
it was somewhat blasphemy.
All my wedding people get
Yes.
people get the chat right now.
Listen,
gonna talk
yeah,
about
get the chat. Hey, listen, if you're married, you know what I mean? If you attended a wedding before, if you're about to plan one, jump on. Share this live right now with a family member. Call your homegirls right now. Be like, girl, they finna talk about wedding stuff. And we gonna get into it. So, G-Man, pop the thing off, boss. Pop the top on this one. Come on, let's go.
Listen, and Lump, I'm gonna tell you this, Lump. If you can find a way to get that video so we can just watch a clip of it, I wouldn't be
Hey,
mad at you.
send it to me real quick, and let me see if I can get it queued. We can do that, but we can still get into it though.
I'm gonna email it to you. So
All right,
here's
cool.
here's the thing, bro. Right, and I'm sure all of y'all have seen this because it's been topics of conversation, right? Dude, it's a guy on social media. He makes his post, and he's like, "Yeah, listen, man, me and my fiance, we about to get married, and we've spent almost $200,000 trying to get ready for this wedding. Like, we've got a whole itinerary planned out, and so we're telling our people, yeah, the tickets are $450 per person." Per person, y'all.
That's your investment.
So at the end of the day, I went to my wife. I said, T, what do we do? Right? And said, I love you. But I was like, dude, the only person I know that would spend $100,000 might be Sid, right? I don't know, right? I'm like, dude, first of all, who in the hell outside of like, dude, and I want to say that Shannon Sharp and Ocho, it was not a destination wedding. It was, these motherfuckers had like a tour planned around town, a horseback ride around town, right? It was some crazy wild shit. And I want to say that Chad Johnson and Shannon Sharp on Nightcap, they talked about this. And Shannon said, listen, man, and we know Shannon has money. Shannon said he gave his daughter $30,000 budget for her wedding, right? He gave her $30,000. He might have been being a little cheap. But what I'm
What?
saying is,
I got some stats for you, Gary.
I
I'm gonna
know, I
let you
know.
go, but I got some stats
Listen,
for you.
I want to bring it in, but this is just
Go ahead.
where
No,
I'm
no,
at, right?
go do your
All
thing.
I'm saying is, dude, I don't know who's spending that kind of money, right? And Sid Lump, you know, this has been my question when we started talking about this. I know most of the people that I know that have successful marriages did not go crazy with the wedding expenses, right? Most of us ended up actually going to the courthouse, right?
Courthouse.
We went to
Mm-hmm.
the courthouse and we
Mhm.
decided we're gonna put that money into a property or something else to benefit the financial realm of the union, right?
Mhm.
I wanted to talk about two things, right? One, is there really any value in spending that kind of money? What is the return on the investment? Does the marriage last longer? In most cases, is it shorter, right? In addition to that, who would pay to go see your friend get married? And who would pay upwards of $450, right? Upwards of $450 to go see your friend get married.
I got some
And
pushback on this. I got a lot of
okay,
pushback on this.
we'll push back
Okay,
then
so
because I'm trying to hear it.
okay, so let me get some stats first. Then I'm gonna do a little bit of pushback. Now, just to play devil's advocate, because we got to do that, right? So let me
Thanks,
let me give you some
Courtney.
stats. The average wedding cost of a wedding, you said 30,000. So Shannon Sharp must have looked at it and said, "What is the average cost of a wedding in 2024?" The number's 29,234. But he said, "I'm gonna give you the average cost. I'm gonna give you 30,000 against the average cost of a wedding." Shout out to Shannon Sharp. I was very smart at him, right? Now, here's what we have is these next two stats. 70%, and this is stats from the knot.com. 70% of the couples say they were willing to go into major debt in order to have a dream wedding, right? Put it all on the line, right? And only 1 in 3 couples adjusted their budget when the budget went way over. Meaning if the budget was 30,000 and it was a choice between forget it, let's put up another 30,000. Only 2 and 3 couples said no. 1 in 3 said no. Let's keep up in the budget.
Hey,
Here's
real
what I'll say.
quick.
Go ahead. Go
Hold
ahead.
on. And real quick before you get in, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, go,
I
go.
wonder who made that decision to stay above budget or out of budget,
Exactly.
or was it who was it? I
Who
don't know if
was
you
it?
could do a
That is very
We're
statistic
true.
not
on
doing the
that.
gender war today, Lump. We ain't doing the
Yeah,
gender war today, brother.
now
No
here's the
gender
thing.
wars today.
Here's where I play devil's advocate. And here's why my question to you guys. What if that couple said, what is the difference between what up, Easy E? What's up, my brother? Good to see you, man.
He
Shout out
said
to Ross in the
take
building.
notes. You better take
What is
great
the
notes, brother.
difference between, let's say I'm the couple, and what is the difference between me going to you guys and saying, guys, hey, look, I'm going to have a destination wedding in Jamaica at a 5-star resort, right? From Friday to Monday. The cost, plane ticket included, will run you and your wife $2,000, right? And you say,
Right.
yeah, let's go. First thing people hear destination wedding, yeah, I'm in. Let's go. Jamaica, of course, I'll come to Jamaica and pay the $2,000 to see you get married, right? But this couple's saying, look, you're kind of doing the same thing, but I'm only charging you $400, right? So what is the difference?
Thank you.
Let me tell you
Ain't no
something.
difference.
I don't know
Ain't
what
nothing.
janky ass town you living in, but it ain't Jamaica, right? So let's start with with a few realistic things.
Okay, so what they with the Fountain Blue?
Oh, well, let me say this: most
Go ahead.
people that have a destination wedding, right? And these are just the people that I know that have had destination weddings. The first thing they say is, "Listen, guys, I'm having a destination wedding. Totally understand if you can't make it. This is just how we want to bring in our marriage together, right?" There is less of an expectation that everybody's going to show up because they're going to get what they want to get out of this no matter what, right? This is a guy saying, listen, I just spent all my money on a big ass party for y'all. And I'm hoping y'all give me my money back and come enjoy this party with us. There's some pressure on this, right? There's some pressure on this to me because as a friend, if you tell me, dude, I done spent $200,000 on this wedding, Me and my girl, we expect you guys to be there. Matter of fact, we're gonna charge you $450. Dude, that's the hardest thing in the world is to tell your boy, your girl, whoever, girl, I ain't spending no damn $450 on no damn wedding ticket. It's way easier to say, dude, I cannot take that trip to Jamaica, man. I got kids, I got this. It's actually just gonna be too much of a burden on me right now. But I'm gonna give you a hell of a goddamn wedding gift and just let you know that I'm extremely supportive of you, right?
Okay, let me throw a caveat in there. Let's say
450.
they
That
sent
is the
you
wedding gift.
the wedding invitation, and in the wedding invitation, it said you're gonna get unlimited steak and lobster, you know, top 1942 and Class A, Class A Azul and 2 you can pass out, and we have Chris Brown performing.
That shit matters to the people that value that bullshit. Fucking I don't give a fuck about Chris Brown performing.
I'm throwing out a scenario. Maybe you paid $400. Well, maybe you paid the $400. I can see Chris Brown. I'm eating steak and lobster till I pass out. And I get 1942. Come on, man.
And here's what I'm saying. I'd rather just say, listen, I tell you what, me and the wife can't make it, man. But here's $500. Right?
Fair.
It is what it is.
But you're gonna pay that anyway. But you,
no,
hold on. Time out. So you're saying I want to have the option to give you money versus you demanding money out the gate. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, I'm a grown ass man. You're not finna tell me what the fuck I need to do.
You can't come to my wedding.
I want you to allow me to support you because I choose to, not because you mandated and you put it on the muscle and on the strength of our friendship that, man, if you my boy, you gonna come. No, we're not doing that shit, bro. Motherfucker, listen. First of all, people need to understand this too, right? Let's be clear. And I shout out to Courtney because she said it. I went to the courthouse. Me and my wife been together 24 years. so she's been with hers. She been 15 years. What I'm saying is, so what I'm saying is, listen, the wedding ceremony, that's one thing. That reception is where all that fucking money comes in at.
Food, drinks, everything.
Right? And the reception is not for the goddamn married couple. It is for everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but also everyone else. Put in there that $100,000 is ridiculous. Like I don't like.
He said almost 200 too. I want you to know that.
That's like
this bananas.
I'm trying to save this guy. I'm trying to throw him some bail money. Maybe he's got, trying to think of a musical artist that would show up that people would be like, oh yeah, you're gonna have this person, Chris Brown or Usher. Only two I can think of where people might say, you know what? Yeah, let's go. We're gonna see Usher perform for an hour and a half, 2 hours. But
if my wife is like, you gotta take me, then that's one thing, right? Because now I'm doing something that my wife values too, right? So it's about my wife. I have things that matter to me, and I prioritize my expenses. I prioritize everything in my life. I cannot put all of this other shit above my wife, my kids, my household, my this, my that. What I want is somebody that loves me enough and respects me enough to say, listen, man, I'd love for you to be there because you mean that much to me, right? And let me come through how I'm going to come through. If I come through big, then you know that was because I got it. And if I don't come through big, you know it's because I don't have it, but at some point in time, I'm going to get you, right? You are forcing me to either go busted and disgusted and to be there to support you, right? Or you're forcing me to tell you some shit I don't want to tell you. Right?
You mean lie to you? Tell you some bullshit?
Nah, I tell you I'm not coming. I don't want to not come to your wedding.
Listen.
You would see me at the house and I come through with a iRobot.
Believe it or not, we actually have some loyal listeners who are actually getting married. My niece Leslie and her fiance Miguel, two good people, man. So I hope they're in the chat. If Miguel or Les, if you're in the chat, give us your thoughts. You guys are getting married in exactly 12 days from now, and
12 days.
Really nice, 12 days, yeah, August 30th. You guys are gonna have a really nice wedding. It's gonna be very intimate.
Are they charging? Are they charging for their wedding?
Yeah, they actually charge $1,000 a head. I'm kidding. No, they're not charging. No. I'm trying to draw them out. I'm trying to draw them into the chat. I'm trying to talk some crap to draw them into the chat. I know they're listening, but no, so I guess I would say you can have, I would say this, right? I wonder if there are people out there who spent $100,000 on the wedding and then got divorced 5 years later,
a year or two later,
or a year later, and do they think back and like why the hell did I spend? I could use that $100,000 right now in this divorce. You know what I mean,
bro? I know people that spent $10,000 and it was like, man, that was some bullshit. I should have never done that shit. I can't get it back. And listen, here's the reality, right? I want to make it clear, right? I don't want anyone to think that I couldn't pay for a ticket if I had to go. I could pay for the ticket. It's the reality is I'm just not built in a way that I'm going to allow somebody to force me to kind of spend my money the way they want me to spend my money, right? I'm just saying, shout out to Ray. That's what I'm talking about. Big man talk. Why the fuck would I pay to watch another nigga get married? I don't understand that shit.
Because you support him.
Oh, wow. Hey, put that to the chat. A couple years ago, a couple sent an invoice to someone who knows shortly after the RSVP. I love it.
But you know what? And
listen,
Aaron, here's my thing. If you RSVP'd your 2 salmon plates and that shit cost you an extra $300 in your goddamn thing, I get it, dude. Listen, what kind of motherfucker are you? At least be honest with me. Keep it real. Tell me the truth. And when you say support your people, support doesn't look like demanding a certain amount. Mm-hmm. Support looks like, hey man, I'm about to do this. I love your support, and you allow people to help you in the capacity in which they can. Sacrifice is relative to your situation. It ain't motherfucking what you want it to be. So my $50 might be the equivalent of somebody else's $400. Because that might be where I'm at in life. So it comes down to straight up, where am I in life? Sacrifice is relative. Stop living in your own fucking bubble, thinking that everybody's going to do what you want them to do. Sacrifice is voluntary support, right? It's all relative, man. That's all I'm saying. You should definitely support your people. You know what I'm saying? You should definitely support your people. What I'm saying is allow people to support you in the way that they can, because that's the way that shit works. Right?
So let me ask you this.
Expectations are the first step on the road to disappointment. I want to make that shit clear.
We got some good game coming in the chat. Elder said if it comes down to this.
Hold on, I'm gonna put it, hold on. So when you saying that, G-Man, if I say, hey, listen, and I guess there's a way how you say it, I guess, right? So hey, listen, I'm having a wedding. If you can donate $400 to our wedding to help us out, hold on. It will be greatly appreciated. But if you can't, we understand everybody's financial situation. You got different things going on, but whatever you can donate, that will be greatly appreciated. Now, if it was proposed that way, are you more likely to give in or whatever you can at that moment?
Listen, I got you, pimp, but I'm gonna tell you this. Ray Shelton is that's my cuz right there. He said if the royal wedding is free by invitation, of course, why would I pay to attend Devontae and Shaka or Sheikah?
If it's your wedding, you can do whatever you want. However, your budget can't cover it's not your family. I agree. Good stuff, Elder. We love it. And she said, speaking of someone who's in event planning business, budget realistically. You're right, man. 100%.
And Elder, my wife does event planning too. She's done some weddings too. And listen, my wife has been there, and I know, Elder, you understand this, where at the end of the road, them jokers are running out of money, and they like, can we downgrade these flowers a little bit? Can we downgrade these candles? We're way over budget. I don't know if I'm going to pay my mortgage next week. Listen, handle your shit responsibly. And
the open bar goes from top shelf to middle shelf real quick, doesn't it?
Listen, cash bar only, right?
Cash bar. I wish I would. Let me tell you something. I wish I would go to somebody's wedding I know with a cash bar. I'll walk right out.
Hey, it happens.
It doesn't be open bar.
It happens.
Yeah, I'm not. Okay, we won't go down that. We won't go there. I've
been to a cash bar only wedding.
If I go to a cash bar wedding, I'm walking out.
I've been to a cash bar only wedding, and I wanted to walk out. but it was family, so I stayed.
Oh,
I
okay,
was mad
go.
as shit. I was mad as shit.
I know you were mad as hell.
Wait,
What?
okay, so wait, hold on.
I had to
So
tip the
it's
bartender too. I was like,
Yeah,
fuck.
I'm cash bar is
If I had known that
Cash
shit before
bar
I
is
bought the
tacky.
gift, they would have got
That's
some
super
different
tacky.
shit. I'd have
well,
been
let
like,
me.
boy, these knives are real nice. If
So
I'd have known that
is
before the
this
wedding, I'd have been like, these
is
forks are good.
now is this the United States thing? Because in other countries, right? As far as weddings goes, that's a staple. Money, giving that, or it's a norm. You understand? So in the United States, is it a thing to where people come and if they don't want to bring anything, don't have to bring anything, they don't have to. But other countries, guess what? They shower with gifts. That's a norm. You don't have to ask. You don't have to beg. That's
Yeah,
kind of what
shout out
it
to
is.
Aaron, who actually used to work at Signature Grand, by the way. But go ahead. Aaron was the man in Signature Grand. Shout out to Aaron.
What did she say?
Aaron, he
Aaron's-
basically said, man, being in hospitality for 20 years, I've seen plenty of horror stories dealing with weddings, whether either a majority of guests, no show, they overcount. He used to work at Signature Grand in Fort Lauderdale. And yeah, Aaron was actually, I think, over my cousin's wedding and at the Signature Grand. And yeah, so he would know. But I would say that, I think at the end of the day, man, I'll start the round robin of what do we stand on? I stand on this. The average wedding is 30 grand, right? 30 grand in 2024. And I think even all of us were like, man, that's a lot of money for a wedding, right? 30 grand. 30 grand is a lot of money, right? At the end of the day, if you go anything over 30 and you don't have it like that, I mean, I'm not talking about Jeff Bezos' kids or LeBron's kids. LeBron got what, one daughter? He's gonna have $1 million wedding for his only daughter, right? We're talking about the average Joe, working man. If the benchmark is 30 grand, you go ahead.
Sid, hold on. I want you to elaborate on one thing because I know you're ready for it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I just want your opinion based on, because I know you know a lot about a lot of people and these people getting married. How many people, right? Because you said something earlier, right? And it's in the same chain with the Shannon Sharp thing. How many fathers of the bride are still paying for weddings and giving out budgets? I know my sister, her father paid for the wedding, right? And so these are the other things, because it's like, is it beneficial to have an elder statesman craft your budget for your wedding, right? Versus these young motherfuckers jumping out here talking about, yeah, we're gonna have a $200,000 wedding, right? Like, I want to know, are we losing form because we've deviated so far from traditional cultural things that we used to do? What are your thoughts on that?
That's a great point. I would say that I think new school age is. I think all of us have daughters. If my daughters come to me and say, "Hey, listen, I'm getting married," woo, right? I would say, I would go to the dude and say, "Listen, this ain't 1944 anymore. I'm not paying for the whole thing. How much you got to put up, right? How much you got to put? How much you got to put at home? You know what I mean? I'll match what you got, player. You know what I mean? Like, whatever you got. If you put in 15 grand, I'll put in 15. You put in 20, I'll put in 20. I'm matching what you got. The days of, oh yeah, we're gonna go to
Your
Lump
pops.
and Big Mr. Goodbar, Big Papa. He got it like that. I see his house in a Papa.
I see his
You know what I mean?
2-bedroom. Yep. I see them
I
2 cars and
I
3
see his
cars in the
loft.
driveway.
I see his 4
Yeah.
cars. He got it.
I got more than
You know
2
what I mean?
bedrooms though.
You know, I see it. So they see what we have. They check us out. Hey,
Why?
they check us
listen,
out.
okay,
Right? They check
Sid.
us out. So then they think, but no, it should be. So me, I feel like at the end of the day, bro, it should be 50-50 between the parents and the children. And don't let me get on the other side. I don't want to ask the dude, hey, what your parents got to put in. You know what I mean? This might be a 30-30 split.
That's an
Right.
argument.
But I was going to
That's
ask
an
you,
argument.
your daughter comes to you, Lump, your daughter comes to you, Sid, and says, I want a $100,000 wedding. What is your response as the father, right?
What,
What
how
is
much?
your response? I want to have a $100,000 wedding.
Oh, yeah, no.
Oh, $50,000. I want to have a $50,000 wedding, Dad.
If they put up 25, I'll put up to 25.
And no. All 50. Oh, she's saying all
Oh
50
yeah,
is a hell no. It's a hell no.
look, man. I don't know if Nayeli's here. Nayeli, I would look at you like you're crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, you're crazy. If
Right
you're
now,
in
you know
here.
what I'll be like, Jada,
Exactly.
Jada, baby.
Exactly.
I just paid for your whole college education.
Yeah.
Bam.
Yeah.
I just paid for your whole college education so that you can start your professional life with no debt. You
Shouts
want
out
a
to you.
$50,000 wedding?
Yeah. Shots. Yeah. Definitely shots you for that.
We ain't doing that, bro. Like, and
Yeah,
if we are doing it, it's definitely a collaborative effort, right?
collaborative. Yeah.
It's got to be
Yeah.
collaborative.
If it's
But
a
my thing
$50,000
is,
wedding, why can't it be 17,000 from the dude's family, 17,000 for you, and 17,000, and we got the biggest wedding ever? But like I said, I don't want to go too far off into a tangent. Neil, what's up, homie? What's up? Shout out to Detroit. It's really important to work within your budget. For my wedding, an open bar price would also charge for children who cannot drink. Good point. We made the choice of adult only to. Oh, that's a good point. Shout out to Neil. He said no to alleviate all the messiness. It was an adult only wedding. That's very true. So I wonder if this $100,000 wedding was adult only. That's a very good point. You know, if kids were there, interesting point. But that's what. Hey, I said what I stood on. At the end of the day, man. Hey, don't do what you can't do. You know, stay within your limits, stay within your budget. Don't be trying to take out HELOC loans on your house. You know, taking out a HELOC just to show off. Because only listen, everybody knows I've had parties on top of parties on top of parties, and some people say they're the best parties I've ever been to. It only lasts one night. The next morning,
it's all paying
over.
for that shit, bro. The trust ain't paying for that.
Trust
ain't paying for that, bro.
It's all over the next day. They'll talk about it on social media for about 24, 48 hours. It's all over. You talk about spending $100,000 on a wedding. People will talk about that wedding, but when it's over, it's over. So that's why I stand on. Would you stand on, Miss Daily Insight?
If you're gonna, and I guess for that family or for that guy or that that couple, if they're gonna suggest, hey, you must pay $450, just as I asked G-Man, just throw out a suggestion. Hey, listen, I would like for you guys, that will be your gift. If you want to bring that and some extra, or if you could donate this $450, what we asking for, great. If you can't, cool. We still want you to attend. So if you're gonna suggest anything like that, because weddings are not cheap, inflation is crazy right now. Make sure that you just throw that out there. You don't demand, I guess, people to, hey, listen, you got to pay this $450 or you ain't coming, or you're gonna have a lot of people may not show up. But I like the suggestion of just throwing it out there and say, hey, listen, if you can, it will help us greatly. If not, please just attend. And you're gonna bring a gift, bring a gift, and keep it moving. So that's what I stand on. But I was kind of not tripping, but just being funny in that regard. Hey, listen, if you don't pay $450, you can't come to my wedding. But you don't know people's financial situation, so you can't assume. So that's what I stand on.
And listen, and I'm gonna try to keep this as short as I can, because here's what I would say, right? I do think that guy's wedding was an adult only wedding, right? Which it just to give y'all the end result, right? The reason why he was recording a video was because he was complaining that nobody RSVP. He was saying how all of his people didn't, they weren't there, right? And he was upset. He was like, "Am I wrong? Am I wrong?" Yeah, pimp, you was wrong, right? And maybe not way off the mark, but what I'm saying is, and one question I had at the time was, what about your groomsmen and your bridesmaids who are doing tuxes and all of these other expenses? Did you do that to them too? How did they shape out, right? Like, how did that work out? But I just want to remind people, right, that, and I said this earlier, expectation is the first step on the road to disappointment. And sacrifice has to be relative to somebody's situation and their experiences. So I just want people to realize we're putting unnecessary stress on ourselves in these moments, because you're not doing what's reasonable, which is give people a chance to weigh in on this first. Why don't you ask people, hey, we thinking about doing a wedding. We want to do it big. We want everybody to enjoy themselves. But for us to do it the way we're thinking about it, right, we need to know how many of y'all would support us if we wanted to charge you guys for tickets. And maybe you say something like, we're not asking for any gifts. We're already established. We're already doing our thing. We got a house. We got what we need. We just want everyone to have this exact experience as we take this step into a new life. That is a different conversation, right? And that's what I think sometimes we miss the mark on. It's always the fine print
Presentation.
where we lose shit, bro. Like,
Mhm.
I was a little disappointed because Buddy went on social media and aired out his whole friend and family base for not wanting to do something that he
Wow.
forced on them. Y'all
Wow.
chose to do that. Y'all chose to spend that kind of money. If you were willing to spend that kind of money, you should be willing to spend the kind of money. That's point blank, period. Now, when your people
Agreed.
get there and they're like, dude, this shit is nice, right? You make gifts on the back end that you didn't even expect because that shit was so nice. You just got to give people their own time and space to allow them to make their own decisions. If you try to force people into a box, they're not going to get into it because it's not going to happen. And the ones that do, they're going to walk away from you, dogging you out, talking shit, and you're going to see lost and failed relationships at the end of it. You know, function as a mature, responsible adult and function within the space that you're comfortable in, because that's the best way to move forward. And that's the best way to maintain positive relationships with the people in your life. You know what I mean? You about to lose a lifelong friend because they didn't want to do something that you wanted them to do in the moment that you wanted them to do it, how you wanted them to do it, wearing what you wanted them to wear. Like, bro, you literally just stripped away everything about me that made me and my own individual self. You know what I mean? Let's respect each other's space, man. And let's move responsibly. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Good topic. Good topic. Good topic. So what's the next topic? We're gonna go to the next topic, or we're gonna go to the top 5? Or the next topic?
Top 5.
I want the
Top
top 5.
5.
I ain't heard the top 5.
Top 5.
Hey, I'm stealing that from Tank. Shout out to R&B Money. Shout out to Tank. I'm stealing his little song. Top 5. Top 5.
Right.
I am going to give
time.
So are we ready?
8 times.
Are we ready for the top 10?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, hold on.
I want to
let's
see.
see.
We need to hold this man accountable. Elder.
We switching it up a little bit. We're going to be doing a college football version of a top 10, but we're doing a top 5, right? A top 5 picks. College football starts next Saturday. Shouts to everybody. The summer is finally over. We are back and we are here. Here are your boys, South Florida Sid's top 5 hot picks. Top 5. I am going to give you my top 5. Shout out to Tank for letting me steal that from him, from R&B Money. Well, let's just get to it right now. You will not see us again until after the first 2 weekends of college football. Week 0's next weekend, and the week after that, we'll be here on Sunday, and we've already had 2 weeks in. So I'm going to give you my top 5 picks over the next 2 weekends. Number 5, on August 29th, I do like Colorado to take out North Dakota State and to take them out in the way we all know we're going to take them out at the end of the day, right? You know, we're not going to say too much because I don't want to get shut down. I think we all know what we mean when we're talking, you know, our Hard Rock communities out there, our MGM, Caesars communities out there, they know what I'm talking about. But I like Colorado to take out North Dakota State handedly in Boulder on August 29th.
You got a prediction?
Good. What happened?
You got a prediction?
My prediction is 45-21. That is my prediction.
I like that.
I like them to destroy it. I think Colorado's going to come out and make a statement on August 29th.
I like that.
Number 4, on August 30th, I do like OU to make a major statement at home with that quarterback at Temple. Temple is absolutely garbage. And I think this will be a score that centers around 63-0. I don't think Temple scores at all in Norman. At the end of the day, listen to something. Wink, wink. Listen to your boy, South Florida Sid. I like OU big. That is my number 4 pick. Number 3, I hate to say it, but on August 24th at 12 p.m., we're going to get the college football season started off. and I think all you fans out there know what I'm talking about. I do like Florida State in Dublin, right? In Dublin to take out Georgia Tech and to take them out handedly. Do I think Florida State takes a step back? Yes, but I do think they go into Dublin and Georgia Tech just,
Don't
they
do that.
remind people.
Don't do that. That's
Well, you're not going undefeated. You're not going undefeated, but we'll talk about that later. You're not a
You are
step
not
back
either.
means you're not going undefeated, but we'll talk about that.
Gotcha.
But I do like Florida State to take out Georgia Tech in Dublin. I think it starts out very slow, but I think the final score ends up being something like 31-10, something like that, around that area. So I like Florida State. My number 2 pick, I like on August 31st, UGA to take out Clemson. I don't think Clemson's very good. I think they're going to take 2 steps back. I think Georgia is primed and ready. It's in Georgia. I just think they're going to make a big statement. Georgia's too high powered. And I think at the end of the day, on August 31st, I think that's a 12 o'clock game. So at the end of the day, if you are out there and listening to your boy, I like Georgia. I like them kind of big too, So at the end of the day, Carson Beck, those running backs, that defense, I don't think they take a step back. And my number 1 pick in my top five.
Not the same. Not the shades. Oh.
My top 5. My number 1 pick. I just got a text message from the National Weather Service that just told me that unfortunately over the next 2 weekends, there's going to be a Category 5 hurricane. It's going to put one major city underneath the ground. That one city is Gainesville. On August 31st at 3:30 p.m., the Miami Hurricanes will march into Gainesville, and we will take care of business. That game will not be close. Listen to your boy South Florida Sid. I got my shades on. I got my hat. I'm ready. I got my orange shirt on. I actually might wear a 3-piece suit on the day of this game. I am going to be dripped out ready. Today, once it's all said and done, the University of Miami on August 31st at 3:30 p.m. will come out victorious. That is your boy. This is your boy South Florida Sid.
You got a score for that one?
Top 5. Final score, 38-17. I'm telling you right now, this is your top 5. We will come back in 2 weeks. Hold me to it. There we go, baby. I love it.
I call Cap on that hurricane bullshit.
Give
me your thoughts. Give me your thoughts.
I don't care what you're talking about, love. Listen.
Yeah, of course.
I don't care what you're talking about.
Get emotional. Y'all get emotional. Thank you, Elder. Thank you, Elder.
Elder jumping in blue.
Damn right.
You got a UF fan in the building.
Damn right.
Sid, you're gonna have to do me a favor because I can't have the people walk away from your top 5 calling you Captain Obvious.
Okay.
So everything you said to me, I agree with. Mm-hmm. But I want you to give me the shocker pick. Just real quick, the one pick that everybody's like, there's no way that this team is going to beat this team. Like, what would you say was your upset pick? Give me the upset pick so that you're not walking away as
out of the 5? Out of the 5? If I had to pick the 5? If I had to pick out of the 5?
No. Something totally separate from the 5.
Ooh, put me on the spot there.
I just want to know what your upset pick of the week is.
Courtney is all about the Power 5 right now, Courtney. I'm sorry.
We love HBCU. Shout out to FAMU. I got my FAMU shoes in the bag, but
I want to make sure
and FAMU will be down here September 7th.
We're going to be at the game as well. FAMU is winning as well. FAMU's winning,
and we're going to be at the game on September 7th. We're going to talk about that before the game. But my upset pick, you are wow. Okay.
Yeah. This entertainment, baby. It's only entertainment.
If there was a team, I would say that it has a big chance to get upset and lose. See, here's the problem. The problem is there's not many. Yeah, you're making me look. There's not many games, in the first 2 weeks that I would say, that anybody should be afraid of. However, if you're putting me on the spot, I had to pick a team that says they got to be real careful. I would probably say that. I'm doing a quick look, quick check.
It's okay. We'll wait.
Check.
This is good information.
I would say that, okay, I found one. I would say that on August 31st, At 7:30 p.m., Notre Dame needs to be real careful with Texas A&M. Notre Dame is number 7. Texas A&M is number 20. And it's at Texas A&M. Notre Dame better be very careful with Texas A&M on August 31st at 7:30 p.m. Texas A&M, they still got some talent, and they got a new coach. And Notre Dame, so that would be my upset pick if I had to choose one.
Okay, I'll take that.
So we'll see.
I'll take that.
We'll see. Oh, hey, we're gonna have a show the day after, so you guys either clown me in the chat and say I'm the worst handicapper there is, and don't quit my day job, or you'll be singing my praises. So we'll see what happens.
Hey, if y'all are betting and y'all lose money, you have a right to come on here and destroy this man in the chat. We're gonna put QR. You can put your QR code in the chat. He's gonna have to start paying people back their money.
Oh man. But let's get back to these topics. So our next topic, right? We're gonna be talking about, if you haven't heard the story, the father, right, that essentially kicked his 14-year-old daughter out of the house after she had her second child. So at the age of 14, she already has 2 children, and she's in the 8th grade. And her father said, you know what? Had enough. Gotta go, right? And this goes to, right, and I know many of you have parents probably my age or close to my age, where this was a very common occurrence back in the 50s and 60s, where if a young girl got pregnant, the family would send her to Georgia, right? Or send her to Mississippi, somewhere you would never see or hear from her again if she got pregnant from a young age, right? Now, this father's getting a lot of backlash by saying, well, where were you as a dad, right? You can just kick your daughter out, right? How dare you? But some people are saying, you know what? If you've done all you can for your child and they just won't do right, as the old folks like to say, they just won't do right, right? Walking in there 8th grade with 2 kids and not listening to you, doing whatever they want to do, right? What can he do, right? Now, from what I know, the child is not like in a homeless shelter or anything. Like I think she's
Wait, how old is she? Context?
14.
How old is she?
14 years old.
Okay.
And 2 already on her second child. So apparently she's living with a family member, but she's not in a homeless shelter. So just wanted to get you guys' thoughts in the chat's thoughts around at what point, right, in a situation like this, do you just give up on your kids? Like throw your hands up, in a situation like this, not disciplinary and then them getting suspended from school. I'm talking about something major like this. Like we all have daughters. Your daughters just keep, coming home, I'm pregnant again. And you're like, you've done everything you can. She's sneaking out the window. You can't watch these kids 24/7. And then she comes back and she's like, yeah, I'm pregnant again, right? At the end of the day, what do you do? Give some advice to people in a situation like this. Because I feel bad for the brother, man. He's probably, sound like the mom's not involved. It's really just him. And he's just trying to do it on his own. And he's just like, man, he's probably barely making it. And now you bringing in more kids I got to take care of. So give me your thoughts.
You want me to go?
Yeah, who wants to go first?
I got it.
Okay,
I got it. So listen, and this is just where I'm at with it, right? And I'm sure that context will come and caveats will come out. Listen, I'm with Courtney. Listen, you don't give up on your kids. Unfortunately, when you decide to have children, you have decided to bring somebody into this community, into this world that had no options of doing that, right? At the end of the day, raising kids is not easy. It's not. And this is the same thing that I say, whether you're a man or a woman, whether he's a single father or not, I don't really care, because it's an agreement, right? You almost come to an agreement when you say, okay, we're going to have this child, right? When you say, hey, we're going to have this child, the responsibility of being a father, a mother, a parent, that rests on you. And you said something in the process where you were talking about how, I think that she's now living with a family member. So you've literally just passed your responsibilities onto someone else in the family because you didn't handle yours, right?
It takes a village, though, at the end of the day.
It does take a village, but that don't mean you just dump your child somewhere else. Like, what are you doing? Are you Are you cashing out? Are you sending money over there? Is this just one
Mhm.
of those like we couldn't get along? Or is this like I can't afford this, so you got to get out? That's a 14-year-old girl with two children, right? And so the reality is raising kids isn't easy. I'm gonna be honest. Listen, raising my kids has not been it's not been no crystal stair, right?
Mhm.
We have we find ourselves right now living in a world where people is it's all about the highlight reel, right?
Mhm.
Everybody wants the fantasy world. That's not what parenting, that's not what raising kids is. Right? Sid, listen, I know both of y'all, and
Mhm.
I know that we have great children,
Mhm.
right? And we're raising quality people. But at the end of the day, what children do is they learn, right? They learn by making mistakes, and sometimes you just pray that it's not the detrimental mistake. I want to give my kids a huge shout out. Thank God I ain't no granddaddy yet. I'm too young. I'm too young.
Mhm.
But if my son or my daughters, either one of my daughters had a child, I don't even think of a place where I could send my kids to. And
What
to
would you
me, that is
what would you have done after the first one? After she had gotten pregnant the first time, what would you have done?
I would have done everything I could. I probably would have taken her to get some. We probably went and got some counseling. We probably would have because clearly, whatever I'm saying, whatever I'm doing as a parent is not working. Right? You're talking to the one guy that's probably built to answer this question, dude. As a former educator, well, as a current
Mhm.
educator, right? I understand the process of teaching, assessing, reteaching, assessing, right? Like you got to find the progress. Where are we making progress and where are we struggling at? And at the end of the day, I got to come back to the fold. So to me, it sounds too much like quitting. It sounds too
Yeah.
much like I give up. It sounds too much like I did something and now I can't do and that just isn't even in my vocabulary because I understand the importance of family. And I don't know, maybe nobody else has ever had somebody give up on them before. I
Mhm.
know what it feels like to have people give up on you. I know what it feels like for somebody to make it seem like, matter of fact, you know what? I was 19, and that's not 14, but I was
Mhm.
19 with twins, right? And I can tell you that there were family members that said, that motherfucker is never going to graduate college now. He's never
Mhm.
going to, he's never going to be, he's never going to be. And if everyone had given up on me, especially including my wife who did not, right? I can tell you right now, I don't know if I'd be where I am right now. I don't know if I'd be somewhere different. I know that there was something in me that said I refuse to let somebody else define the narrative that will be told about me when it's all said and done. Like,
Yeah, basically, I'm gonna let you jump in, Mr. Dilly Insight. I feel like that's it's easy to say it, but being in this guy's shoes, at what point? Once she comes back with a third, at what do you just tie? You say, "Listen, we're gonna tie your tubes just to make
well,
sure that this doesn't keep happening."
I
Like,
don't even
at
I
what
don't even
point?
think you I don't think legally you can do that. You can't legally you can't
Okay,
tie
so
a
let's say
14-year
she
old
comes back
to.
with a third at 15, then a fourth at 16. At what
Well, and
point
at
do
some
you?
and at some point in time, that's when you might have to start saying, listen, maybe you have to give up a child for adoption because you can't afford to take care of it. There are other
Mm,
ways to handle it, right? But you got to sit down and you got to have a conversation. You got to work through this stuff, and you can't. To me, if what you're saying is, dude, I cannot effectively parent this child anymore, then you find other ways to work through it. There are programs for children who are just, running wild and defective. Not defective.
mm,
I don't want to call a child defective. In
mm,
defect of the
Wow.
rules, right? When they
mm, mm,
defect against the rules of whatever your household may be. There are programs in place. But what you don't do is give up your parenting. You don't give up your right as a parent because that is your responsibility, right? You don't just drop it on somebody else. You don't just say, I know children personally that their
mm.
parents have done shit like this, even at an older age, and they end up in jail. They end up on drugs. They end up somewhere worse. And I could never live with that on my heart, soul, or spirit that anybody's child, including my own, is in some is drugged out somewhere, homeless somewhere, get murdered, end up in jail, some terrible thing happens because I didn't give them a safe space. I didn't
What you
give him
think,
a
Miss
safe
Daily
space.
Insight? Let's let Miss Daily Insight jump in on this. I know he's got daughters.
Um, well, one, we don't, elders kind of spoke on it. There are of course alternative routes, kind of G-man, as you would kind of point to. But as one kind of get to,
Mhm.
how do we continue to stop the cycle? And also, you said she's 14. Legally, depending on what state is in, he can be criminally charged for child
True.
endangerment and contributing to
True.
delinquency of a minor.
True.
Let's say that, right?
Good point.
So with saying that, we don't know what he's endured. We don't know how many times he's tried counseling. We don't know anything. But I don't believe in personally me, giving up on a child. Listen, it's just gonna be trying times. You know what I mean? As for me, as a child that I didn't grow up with my father and it wasn't always the best situation, I felt as though he gave up on me by not kind
Mhm.
of being in my life. So in that regard, if my child has a situation, either one of them, and because I have girls, of course, if they have that situation, I don't want to give up on them because I know how that feels to have someone not by your side or not willing to go through those growing pains with you at the end of the day. So I don't think giving up is an answer. You know what I mean? I failed my damn SAT 8 times
Mhm.
and I kept going. You know what I mean? I didn't give up. So quitting, like you say, G man, is not an option in regards to your children that you decided to bring into this world. In that regard. So again, we don't know this guy's situation. If we had more context to everything, maybe we can have, hey, listen, this is what he should have did versus what he did at that moment. Maybe him turning the baby over or to another family member was the best
True.
alternative
Well,
versus
let me
putting
take it
her
from
up
a
for
different
adoption.
angle.
You understand? Because hold on, when you put
Yeah.
the kid up for adoption, I don't. There's a lot of statistics on that. Putting kids in foster homes, how they come out. I ain't saying all kids that go into a foster home turn out to be shit. I'm not saying that.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
if they can be with family members who they love or whatever the case may be, there's a better environment for them to grow up in. And even though it could be a fucked up environment in some cases, they can get molested. It could be all type of shit. You understand? So that's a whole nother. So this is like you say, elders say this is a layered ass situation. You
I
understand when it
agree.
comes to that. So that's my stance on
But
this.
what
And
about
and
back
I
in the
want to
old
say this.
days? But hold on,
I
one
want
thing,
to
Gary.
say,
Back in the old days,
I just want to clarify one thing, said,
go ahead.
because when I say give up the child for adoption, right? I want to make it clear that I'm just saying anything is better than putting your child out on the street, right?
Mhm.
And
Agreed.
I applaud the family member that accepted that child if that's where they're living at, right? And I only hope that as a father, he's still contributing to her her success in life, whether it's financially, are you still coming over spending time with your kids? And that's why I said, is this just one of those like we're not gelling, it's not working. So my thing is exactly, it's layered. There's a lot of layers to this, but there, as a parent, to me, there's no option in which you put your child on the street because it cannot end well. It just can't. That's
But
just what I was.
what about our listeners who are 60 and over? Like, my parents, shout out to Mr. Miss Shelton, who are loyal listeners, who that's how this stuff was dealt with back in their day, right? A girl gets pregnant at 16, 17, they're gone. You got to go to
Times
Mississippi
have
with your
changed.
grandma,
Well,
you
listen,
Times
know?
have changed.
listen. Don't listen.
Shame.
I can tell you right now. I can tell you right now. When you listen, one thing about the Shelton family. Oh, we don't do that. We don't do
Hmm.
that. Listen,
Hmm.
I can tell you right now that grandma and grandpa stepped in if they had to support the family when those moments came across, right? Because
Exactly. But shipping him
listen,
away to like another state, not putting him on the street, but saying you got to go live with your grandma in Mississippi.
right.
Isn't that the same thing here?
But guess what? Guess what? It that grandma and grandpa would have said, you know what? You need to come over here. You need to spend time with your child. Because what we're trying to do is help bridge the relationship so that you can eventually get back to being the parent that you're supposed to be, and your child will give you the respect that you deserve. So grandma and grandpa didn't just take it on, and if they did, you heard about that at every family dinner. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And I just
Mm-hmm.
want to make sure that what we're saying is the village should step in to support you when it's like, dude, I don't know what to do. I need help. I just need a break. I need a moment. that's a whole nother thing, right? Other than just abandoning and giving up on your child and labeling them a straight failure because they out there having sex and having babies. I want to remind people that the village, and this is for those who have any sort of spiritual understanding or religious beliefs. Even the Bible says that the Lord will be your anchor,
Mm-hmm.
right? The family can be your anchor, but what the anchor does not do is excuse the storm. It's still gonna
Mm-hmm.
rain. It's still gonna thunder. It's still gonna flood. You're still gonna have problems. That, you know what I mean. But what the anchor does is keep you from being lost in the midst of all of that shit. And so find your anchor for sure. Find your support
Agreed.
system for sure.
Agreed.
But you do not just get lost in the storm because it's raining.
Agreed. Well, hey man, listen. Seems like we touched on a lot of different angles on this one. So here's what I stand on. Man, hope to God, like I don't have to deal with anything like this, right? And I wouldn't wish this on anybody who I know, anybody close to me, no friends. I could not imagine my 14-year-old daughter having 2 kids in the 8th grade. I mean, you put yourself so far behind the 8 ball. I mean, you are swimming upstream at this point in life, and having a support system. I mean, your support system would have to be so vast and so unique to be able to deal with something like this. That this is just a unique situation. I feel bad for the brother because he's getting destroyed on social media, right? How dare you, right? But man, nobody knows what this brother's dealing with. We don't know if he's like, dude, he's probably like, man, I did everything I could. I locked her in her room and she picked the lock and ran away. She's in counseling, and every time I look up, she just won't do right. It's almost
Oh,
like,
I know.
I guess not giving up on your kid, but more or less just like, man, hey, I'm already barely making it as it is, trying to take care of her and my other kids. Now she's bringing on 2 more kids, right? So I feel for the brother. Do I think he should give up on her? I don't agree with that, right? But I don't agree with the backlash he's getting because the people who are giving him all this advice don't know
People
what
go
it's like
listen.
to have your eighth
Yeah,
grade daughter.
people going to talk regardless on social media. They're going to talk whether you're doing great
Yeah,
or not. So
but
you
people
shouldn't
who are
Put
being
it out there,
listen.
judgmental.
right?
Yeah,
He
you're
put it
right.
out
But
there,
if you
though,
put it
right?
out there, just like
Well,
we
hold
talked
on,
about last
I'm
week,
gonna let you guys have it because I'm giving what I stand on. People
My
are
bad.
judging him, but they don't. Yeah, but they don't know what it feels like to have your 8th grade daughter walk up in here and say, I got my second child on the way. If I were him, I'd be like, okay, does anybody here have an 8th grader with 2 kids? I want to talk to you. I don't want to talk to the rest of y'all. I couldn't imagine that in a million years. So I
You
would
better
never
go
judge
find
his
you a
brother.
support group.
Yeah, I would never judge his brother. So shouts to him. Shouts to the girl too, man. Hopefully she get, hopefully she kind of figures things out. I mean, life's gonna be very tough for her, unfortunately. But hopefully she gets back on track, and that's what I stand on. What
I'll
who got
go
next?
and honestly, I used to teach, kids back in the day, and I had an exact situation with a young kid. He's 14 years old. Um, and let me talk about his parents real quick. Parents, mom was a lawyer. Dad ran a police department in Miami. This
Mm,
is when I was teaching middle school. And he cut up. I was a substitute at a school. It's one of the worst schools, North Miami Middle School. I'm gonna throw it out there. I don't know how it is now, but it was and I was a sub. So I went in one day, they were like, yo, you know how to deal with the kids? Subs will run in and run out within the
mm.
hours. And you stayed? You handled the class? Oh, you got the job for the next year if you want it.
Yeah.
And I stayed for that time frame. They made me a pool sub, got a little bit more money, right? So had this one kid show up, and he was just very disruptive, messing with everybody, just a whole bunch. So instead of me writing him off and be like he's a terrible kid and his parents are just horrible, I sat with him. He moved his desk right next to me. I talked with him. Hey man,
Mm,
go collect the homework from the class. Oh, do this, run my little errands. As I kind of got to knowing him, he said, "Hey, my mom's never home. My dad's never home." Because guess what? They were very well off. He didn't want for anything. He had he had the latest J's on, dressed nice, everything. He didn't
mm,
lack for anything, but the timing. His parents didn't spend time with him. So he kind of didn't have any direction as a kid and he ran amok. You
mm,
understand? So and I
mm,
guess the parents didn't understand, hey, listen, I got a job, I got to provide. But once you provide, something has to suffer for that. And the kid at that return suffered. So I just wanted to say that, like I understood the situation with that kid. So again, we don't know that situation. You don't know what's going on with the kid. You don't know if they're getting attention at home. You don't know you don't know what's going on. So I would
mm.
just say, listen, we can talk all we want to as people on the outside of the situation looking in, but we don't never know what's really happening. So I stand
Mhm.
on. Go ahead.
Nice. Good stuff. No, good stuff, man. Nice.
So I just want to say, listen, we don't understand what's going on, so we need to recognize and have that understanding when it comes to situations and stop ridiculing and criticizing people, because you never know what the story is. So that's
Yeah,
what I
good
stand
stuff.
on, to be honest.
Good stuff.
Go ahead, G man.
What you got, G?
Listen, and Lump, you said a couple of keywords. Sid, you said a couple of keywords. I agree with everything you guys are saying. Here's the reality, right? I do believe that we're only talking about this because he put it out there. And
Correct.
so we can only go off of the information that we have in front of us, right? What I do know is this: as a parent, it's your job to provide balance for your children. It's your job to provide structure for your children. It's your job to do the best you can to put them in a better situation than you were, right? Because guess what? This is actually a repeat, right? You grew up in an environment and you found yourself where you are for a reason. And then there are some things that as a kid you were like, if I was a parent, I'd try to do it this way. And sometimes that's due to a lack of like understanding the why, right? One of the biggest things I want to know is why. Like, why is your child doing the things that they're doing, right? And Lump, in the example that you gave, clearly that young man was trying to get some attention, right? And this is why I tell people all the time: when you become a family, when you become a parent, right? Yeah, providing financially is something that is very important, but
Mhm.
sometimes you got to make some choices. Once you get to a certain point in life and you know your bills are paid, you know your family's being provided for, you got insurance, you got retirement, you got things going well for yourself.
Mhm.
Now you got to, sometimes all money ain't good money. All
Mm,
money ain't good money. So you got to be there for your kids, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Now there are some people that need that money to survive. And even then, it's now how do you figure out a way to make sure your children don't suffer the lack of structure, the lack of this? These are your responsibilities as a parent, right? And at the end of the day, your value as a parent, your value as an employee, your value in a lot of different ways as you get older is how what kind of problems are you able to solve? If you can't solve problems in today's
Mhm.
society as an adult, you bring very little to the table,
Mhm.
right? And that's why it's extremely important that we get back to some traditional values, right? And instead of just being out here being ridiculous, right? Make sure that when you lay down, you're being responsible, and make sure that every time you lay down, you're ready to deal with any potential consequence that may come, whether that's giving birth to children, whether that's some sort of disease. There's too many consequences to these things, and you
Mhm.
can't just be caught up in the moment like, yeah, who I had to do that one, right?
Mhm.
Because your
Mhm.
had to do that one could turn out into, all right, now I'm a father, and so what do I do? Now I'm a mother, so what do I do? And how do I get through this? There are things, and there's too many community agencies out there that are willing to provide support, information, education. But the best
Mhm.
thing you can do is be forward thinking even before you lay down to do any of this shit. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? I would
definitely.
tell you, as somebody who had children young, I don't regret anything, because everything that I've been through has made me who I am today, and I'm blessed for that. But I will say this, right? The 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 path that we were all given, right, which is get your education, or figure out what it is you want to do with your life, get established in that, get your partner, get established in that, then have children, right? There is a strategic path that technically, if you follow it, you should find more success. And it doesn't mean that you won't have problems, because we're all individuals, even children, right? We all have personalities, we have these things.
Mhm.
You got to care enough about the people in your life to say, you got to care enough about the people in your life to say, okay, hold on. Why are you doing this? What is it that I'm not giving you? Right? The fact that you
Exactly.
waited for your
Exactly.
child to have
Exactly.
a second baby to be like,
Yeah. Yeah. I
there
agree.
were signs. There were signs before that. And
He
so
missed
all I
him.
would say is this: if I
Yeah,
can
he missed
stand
him.
on anything, my standing is be willing to give everything you have for your children and for your family, because that's, if we're not living for that, I don't know what we're living for at some point.
Sounds like a hell of a segue. Sounds like a hell of a segue. Did you do that on purpose?
Maybe,
You know
maybe not.
your boy. You know your boy.
Into the topic of the day. How far is too far when defending your family? We hope we get a lot of interaction with this. Just to give you some background on this one. There's a man in New Jersey who his wife was hit. She was riding on her bicycle, her and her kids, and she was hit on her bicycle by a male, Caucasian male. And the Caucasian man went off on her. And then went off on her and the kids and called the kids N-words, was very racist and very.
So wait, hold on. So she was riding a bike and then he just swung on her and she fell
No,
off
he
the
hit
bike.
her with his car. Probably,
Oh,
riding bikes,
okay.
just it was probably by accident, but he came out with smoke, right? According to reports, he came out with smoke. He didn't come out like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. You okay?" No, he came out with smoke and went off on her and the kids, called the kids N-words. So she called her husband. Right? I guess she was still hurting, whatever. As she should. And the husband came over there and knocked the guy out.
He handled business. As he should.
And unfortunately, the guy died. Right?
I'm not gonna condone that one. I'm not gonna condone that one though.
Listen, there's something that you ain't telling these people.
Yeah, he was 70 years old.
Okay.
Yeah, the guy was 70. Okay. Yeah, the guy was 70. Not the guy who he hit was 70. So he knocked the guy out. And the guy died. Now the man was convicted of manslaughter and got convicted of I think it's like 5 years. He'll probably do half of that, right? So the question comes up to how far is too far when it comes to defending your family when you're a man. Now I have some scenarios here. And here we go. Our time of the show we call here we go, yo, here we go, yo. So what's the scenario? I have 4 scenarios, and here are your choices. Each scenario I give, you're going to tell me whether you think it's a time to chill, which means, you know what, call the cops or call security, just chill, it's not that big a deal, whatever. Is it a time to will, which means Will Smith, slap somebody, knock somebody out, right? Or a time to kill? You like, look, I'm putting it all on the line. Like you went too far. I'm going to get it, and one of us not gonna make it. So out of the 4 scenarios, either it's a time to chill, a time to will, or a time to kill. Scenario number 1: your daughter, teenage daughter, maybe elementary school, right, comes home and says a man approached her, cussed at her, called her racial names, N-word, monkey, whatever you want to say, then pushed her down to the ground and spit on her. Right? Came home, and you can see she's just shaking up, right? Spit all on her shirt, grass stains on her.
How old is the guy?
Is this a time to chill, a time to will, or a time to kill?
How old is the guy?
The guy was in his 30s.
The
guy's in his 30s. Just a racist bum who just
chose
her child and picked on her.
For Courtney.
Time to
chill and get paid. Listen, I want to play that Young Dolph. Get paid, get paid. I want to play the Young Dolph.
Okay, so you say time to chill. Is that what your choice is, Mr. Lump?
No, I just like what Courtney said.
Okay.
I don't know though, but I don't. What is it? Time to chill.
Time to will, which is Will Smith, or time to kill.
I'm torn. I'm torn between the first two, to be honest.
Chill and will?
No. Yeah. So
chill and will.
In that situation, Courtney, I don't think you're gonna get paid per se, because it's not a major corporation or something like that.
Well, I was gonna ask, is this something where is this just a random person in the streets?
Yeah.
Because
by the way, this happened. By the way, this happened.
This
is a real story. This really happened, by the way.
I just want to make sure that so she wasn't patronizing a business.
No, this really happened in Michigan.
She was just outside walking around and the shit out. Okay.
Yeah. Come on, Lump. Come home, your dog's got grass stains on her, spit on her shirt. She's crying. You know,
I'm
she's
probably
shaking.
gonna go off. It'd probably be the third. I'm probably gonna go off.
So you
I'm
gonna
probably gonna go off
you gonna will it?
because my emotions it gonna be kind of rate. You know what I mean? So
Time to will.
and that's
Time to will.
we
Two
gonna
cases
Will
of same
Smith, but
thing.
it's we gonna
Did
do Will
did
Smith,
the
but it's
guy
gonna be a
live in the
few of them.
neighborhood? Did the guy
No,
live
you
in
guys
the
are trying to
neighborhood?
make dude. Your dog Marley
Hey,
comes home
No,
hey,
I'm
crying.
listen. All right,
asking.
hold on, hold on.
Listen,
Time out,
I'm
time out.
asking
I'm
because
going. I'm
I
gonna
don't
I'm
know.
gonna go.
because
I
it's
don't
in the
know.
chat. It's in the chat.
I'm
It's in the
gonna
chat.
do a few Will
So they
Smiths.
knew that person. No, they didn't know him. They didn't know him. They didn't
I'm
know
gonna
him.
do
Courtney, they didn't know
a
him.
few Will Smiths. I don't because I still need to be there as a father, and protect even more. So if
Yeah.
you have
Time
some
to
other
will.
scenarios, I probably would have get those. But we're gonna do
No,
a
I
few
got
Will
you.
Smiths. It ain't gonna be
You
one.
definitely like, yo, get in the car, point him out. Got you.
Yes, we doing
Get
that for
in
sure.
the car, point him out.
Go
And
ahead, G man.
let's get done. G man, time to
All right,
chill. Time to will.
listen.
Marley, this is Marley.
No, real shit,
Home.
real shit. So here's what I would say, right? And this is a tough situation, right? But I believe that the battle of every man, right, is to control his emotion, right? I believe that if every man, your main responsibility in life is to find out how to control your emotion. I'm not gonna lie to you. I
Chat,
believe.
he's being fake right now. Go ahead.
No. Let me finish. Let me finish. I believe this. I am ready to Sam Jackson that motherfucker, right? A Time to Kill. I'm ready for that. I'm ready for that. But I think what's gonna happen is, if I'm being honest with you, the exact timeline of events will be this. I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna see what happened, I'm gonna see my daughter in that state. The first thing I'm doing is I'm investing my time into getting her together, right? I'm
We got
not
three
bolting
more
out of the
scenarios though.
door.
So try to make it quick. Make the example quick.
No,
We
I
got three
got
more
you.
scenarios.
I got you. I'm not bolting out of the door. The first responsibility I have is to my daughter and making sure that my daughter has kind of calmed down as much as possible in that moment, right? So I'm investing my first bit of time into that. My second bit of time is I'm picking up the phone and I got a bunch of people that I'm calling, right? As I head in the direction of wherever this dude is, right? I am not coming by myself because there's a community of people that I expect to help keep me out of jail. But I'm telling you right now, if they don't get there at the same time I get there or before me,
I'm out of here.
I'm slapping the shit. And I say slap because you said will, right?
Time to will.
Because I'm not really an open hand kind of dude, right? So no, Buddy gonna have to see me. He gonna have to see me. And I'm hoping that my community is able to help me maintain myself enough. And listen, and I'm telling my wife, call the police.
Yeah.
Tell them to meet me where I'm at, right? Because I'm going to put every measure in place to try to make sure I don't have to go to jail.
Gotcha.
But when I leave my
time
house,
to will. So time to will.
It's time to put them hands together, baby.
Time to will. Gotcha. No, you're being honest. Well, for me, and I'll be honest. I know me, and I'm a very in the moment person. And for me, I'll just eat the 5 years. I'll eat the 5. I'll take the 5. I'll take the 5 to 10, whatever. I'll take the 5 to 10 for this,
bro.
I'll take the 5 to 10.
Listen, you better call me. You better call a bunch of people so that we because I don't need you in jail. Now,
I know,
listen,
but
I'm
in the moment,
I'm gonna hold the kids down while you locked up. I'm gonna hold them down.
I'll be back. We'll have a welcome home South Florida Sid podcast, right? Welcome home Sid podcast, right? But I'm telling you right now, I'm
gonna have to wear a shirt that says I stood on that shit for real.
Hey,
right?
Look, I stand on that. I really stood on it because I did 5 for it. So there you go.
Listen, I'm not a tough guy. But let me tell you something. As soon as I would have heard that story, there's nothing somebody could have done to stop me. And I hope I feel bad for the father who was in this situation. By the way, this was a true story. Now I will tell you the backstory. I kind of, it was kind of put you guys in a Venus flytrap. The little girl went home and told the father this, and the father was ready to go, was looking for the guy to kill him. Right? The police got to him first, and they found out the little girl lied. She lied.
Which is why. Which is why.
She lied.
Which is
The little girl
why.
lied. That's the. So I would have been in prison doing a 5 to 10, and then they would have came and told me, you know, she lied, right? I would have been like, you gotta be freaking kidding me. But yeah, the little girl. They found out it was a classmate that had done it to her. And she had just blamed it on some random white guy that was there because she didn't want to tell him the classmate. And yeah, but the father was looking for him. But the police got to him first. So yeah, so that's that one. Scenario number 2. You and your wife are out on date night, having a great time. She goes to the bathroom.
This ain't gonna end well.
Comes back and says a group of guys groped her, slapped her on her butt, and were all very disrespectful. She says, baby, let's just leave. I don't want to make it a big deal. It's like 6 of them over there. Let's just leave and go somewhere else. Is this a time to chill, a time to will, or a time to kill?
A group of guys got an age limit.
30s.
The young guys, 30s. And your wife says, chill out. She went over I'm all right.
You know how dudes are. Baby, come here. Woo, woo, woo. She's probably, get off me. Slapping her butt, groping her. Come on, baby, come here. They're drunk, being disrespectful and belligerent. And she comes back and is like, just frazzle. I'm ready to go. Let's just go. And you're like, why? What's going on? And she's like, I'm just ready to go. Let's just leave right now. Don't worry about it. Let's just leave. Let's just leave. And then she tells you
I'm doing 5. I'm doing 5. I'm eating that. I'm eating.
You eat the 5. You eat the 5?
I'm eating that.
Dang. He said, I'm eating the 5 years.
I'm going to eat that. I ain't even going to go into details. Because you setting a precedent, dude. You setting a precedent like, all right, anybody can do this. You ain't going to do nothing. Because what if it happens 2 or 3, 4 other times? You know what I mean? A message has to be sent. Yeah, yo, man, don't mess with old boy. Hey, boy did 5, boy. You tripping. I'm doing the 5. I'm sorry. I ain't gonna go into the details.
Official on the books. It's time to go. It's time to go get it from the trunk. Mm-hmm. G Money.
I fucking hate you, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. You, bro. I see why.
All right. So listen, and this is the luxury of having a moment, right?
Sid, I'm calling you in the fellas. I'm gonna need some help. Aaron, I got you 100% on that, homie. You ain't got to say nothing but a word. I'll be ready.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't need no help. But this is real talk though. So I want to say this, right? If my wife is telling me no, right? I'm asking her, why would you wait, hold on. Why are you trying to prevent me from doing what I got to do? Because
you know what's gonna happen.
I want to make sure there's something you're not telling me, right? Mm-hmm. But so I'm going to say 2 things. One, if that happens to my wife when I take her out to dinner, I'm gonna ask myself, I'm gonna take some responsibility, because why the fuck would I take my wife somewhere where there's a bunch of drunk motherfuckers by the bathroom, right? Because hopefully I don't patronize and put myself in those situations. Mm-hmm. But let's just say it's a 5-star restaurant. Mm-hmm. It's a bunch of dudes
and shit just happens.
Yeah, and it's just a bunch of dudes in suits. They're professionals and they spending good money, and it is what it is, right? I'm not gonna lie to you. I think at some point in time you got to be ready to kill, right? And I was ready to kill in the last scenario. Mm-hmm. The difference was I would have had to go find that dude, which is why I had time to call friends, call the police. This is a different situation. They're 50 feet away from me. I can hear them. I can see them. And to be honest, I keep my eyes on my wife and my daughters when they walk away from me, and my kids when they walk away from me. So I'm probably not even going to let her get back to the table before I'm already over there. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I'm putting the hammer on them. I'm going to jail. Mm-hmm. I'm going to jail, and I pray to Lord that out of all of these attorneys that I helped graduate, somebody's gonna be able to give me that temporary insanity plea. Because
real second.
Is it will or kill for you? Is it will? Time to will or time to kill?
He said kill.
Oh, it's time to kill.
It's 6 of them.
Okay. Now here's the thing. Here's the thing. Now, did you guys see the bus driver, how he handled business with the young guy?
I heard about it. I heard about it. I heard about it.
Now, I think that's how fast Gary would have been over there. He whooped
I
Buddy
heard
on
about it.
sight. He was telling him, "Boy, I kill you." Had his hands around his throat. Yeah, he threw the first punch, but he gonna lose his job. So that's how Gary was ready.
I got
Gary
you.
was,
So
And I
this
ain't
is
I
what
gonna
ain't
he's
lie
trying
even.
to
to you.
kill. Yeah.
More than likely, just depending on the situation, right? My mama taught me a long time ago when I was a jit. She said, "Listen, you ever find yourself fighting so more people than you can actually handle, you grab two of them and you
Mm-hmm.
make them remember your name. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? You make them remember your name. So you might be stomping me on my back, but two of your homies are gonna be struggling. They're gonna die of asphyxiation.
Mm-hmm.
Asphyxiation. I'm strangling them motherfuckers, and they're not gonna have no breath left in their body. They're gonna
It's
be
a
cold
principle.
by the time somebody
Yeah.
come to see what the fuck happened.
Hey, chat. This topic is push some buttons.
Yeah,
This
y'all
topic
see a
right here
death in
is
the
bringing
eyes.
it out.
Yeah.
It's bring. Well, for me, I look. If I was gonna do the same thing for my daughter, I'd do the same thing for my wife in that situation. Absolutely, any man should. At the end of the day, man, you got to stand on something. You know, you have to protect your family at all costs, even if it means your life. If it's six of them and you don't make it out of there, you got to do what you got to do. So I'm with you guys. For me, it's hey man, hopefully I got some homies in there that are close by or in there with me. That I can say, listen, I need you to come with me somewhere. Don't ask me, just follow my lead. We can just make sure we
Ask no
make it happen.
questions.
So,
Yeah.
let's hope to God. Now, scenario number 3. We got another scenario for you. Your sister calls you and says your niece is getting beat up by her boyfriend every day. She can't leave, or the boy said he would kill her. But your sister's asking you for any help you can give. Time to chill, time to will, time to kill.
Now, I've in this situation, I have two cousins,
Mm-hmm.
right? One has a boyfriend, and I think she's still with to this day. Which I had a conversation with him years ago. I'm not dragging this out. I'm getting to a point because it's when you said it, it kind of hit home, and I had almost a similar situation here. I have a conversation, yo, what are your intentions with my cousin, and I'll be straight out, yo, y'all having relations, you getting married, I'm asking them, so it got real uncomfortable,
Mm-hmm.
when you ask those questions, and he got real uncomfortable, and once I started saying those things, I told the cousin go buy some drinks and come back. I got distracted. She said, "Hey, here you go, just the money from the, woo
Mm-hmm.
woo. Here's the drinks." By the time I could turn, Buddy gone. Like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Usain Bolt. He dashed out. I say, what? Fast forward 4 years later, she moves. I forgot all about him for how he looked, everything. It's the same guy that she's with 4 years later. I'm helping him move in, and you know what I mean. And then I see him, and when I like, yo, is that a different guy? She know that's the same guy. Now, had I known that, it would have been on site. It would have been hands. Now, 2 years prior to us meeting up for the move, it was told that he was beating on her. That's what I
Mm-hmm.
heard. I heard this. No one told me about this. It was just I overheard conversation on, yo, why y'all ain't? Oh, we already knew what was gonna happen. We didn't want you to get involved. Yada yada yada. So in that situation, um, and I told her, yo, I had a long conversation. I said, yo, you gonna be with this guy or what? She's been with him
Mm-hmm.
for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I know in my mind, it's a possibility that she's going to get back with him.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the caveat.
I'm 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 stopping. I'm gonna stop because what's the point of me whooping that dude up, doing something
Yeah,
crazy
just go
to him?
right
And I
back.
know you threw, I know you threw in a monkey wrench. He's gonna kill her. I get it. Yeah, yeah. You know what I mean? So it's still a fine line because there can still be a situation where she get back after you break
But
up that
initial
whole
thoughts.
situation.
First,
That
first, quick. You know. Mm, uh.
I'm a jump up or whatever, but I'm gonna still have a conversation with her. Yo, listen, this is about the
Yeah.
second or third incident.
Yeah.
This is either I'm gonna do something to him, you got to leave. You can't go back to him. You can't because in most cases, the girls do go back. Your cousins,
Yeah.
sisters, what they do go back in most cases. So you don't want to. harm yourself, your family, in a situation where you're gone and they're right back with them.
Gotcha.
So in
Makes
that
sense.
situation, I might pause. I'm a chill. I'm gonna be
Might
honest.
chill. Time to chill. Okay.
I want to intervene in that situation, but in my mind, knowing them, they're
It'll be a
probably
time
gonna
to
be back
chill.
in that situation. And honestly, at that moment, it's not worth it. As much I want to intervene in that situation.
Gotcha.
I'm just being honest with that.
No, it's
So
okay. It'll be a time to chill. No, it's all good. Get G
that's
money. What
yeah,
you got?
that's a real tough one because that hit home. But it's like, yeah, I want to intervene, but what if she gets back? Like, what's? But go ahead. I'm gonna
Yeah.
stand on that.
What you got, G?
Okay. So listen, I've never been in this situation before in my life, right? Here's what I know. My sister is older than me, right? So I'm gonna take my life story, right? I do have a younger sister as well, but she's about my age too. So they're close in age range, if not a little older, right? Um, they call me, and this is what I've been told. My initial reaction is somebody got to die tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody got to die tonight, right? Um, I would like to say that the responsible element inside of me figures out some creative way to deal with this other than that. But somebody got to die tonight. Like
Mm-hmm.
somebody got to die. As a matter of fact,
It's
I might
shout out
be
to
listening.
like, hey,
I
you
might.
know what niece I don't want to say her name, but you know what niece I'm talking about. You know, the only one I really know. You know, she comes there, black eye. I know you.
I'm unaliving somebody. I'm unaliving somebody.
And shout outs to her, man. Shout outs to her too, man. Great niece. You know, great niece you got. Shout outs to
I'm
her.
unaliving somebody,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna be real with you. I'm probably listening to hype music the whole way, right? Damien by DMX, like
Listen to Biggie,
and
Life After Death. Somebody got to die. If I go, you got to go. Somebody got to die.
And
This
he
too,
doing
I
that
right?
back in
Life After
can't
Philly.
see
Death. This
another
number two.
scenario.
This.
Ra da 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 da. Ain't
Oh
no
man.
killer, but don't push
Hey,
me. Like,
we got to, we got one last scenario. This one's a little bit, you know, because this happens a lot. But I've always wanted to know what would I do in this. And listen, again, I hope I'm in none of these scenarios. Well, for me, yes. To me, it's a time to will for that one. Like my niece calls me, woo woo. I'd be like, okay, what do you want to do? I'm gonna be done. Okay, so you go over to your aunt's house. I mean, you go to your mom's house. If he comes over there, you call me and it's on. You know what I'm saying? So I'm with you guys on that one. Because to your point, she go right back, and I'm a crazy one, you know. But to your point, yeah. Now this happens all the time. This next scenario. I know we're getting close on time. You're in an airplane, and a belligerent, drunken guy is being super disrespectful to a sister, right? Call her out
a
her
sister
name.
or your sister, like
No,
a
you know,
random sister.
a sister. You know,
Okay.
call her out her name, just being rude, being racist, dropping N-word, dropping this, dropping that, whatever, right? And he's just being very, very brazen about it. Like, yeah, ain't nobody gonna do nothing to me. You know what I mean? And he's right in front of you. In that situation, is a time to chill, a time to will. Obviously, not a time to kill because you're on a plane. So in that situation, would it be a time to chill or a time to will?
Um, I may for me, I may intervene verbally.
Mm-hmm.
Because there course there'll be laws and regulations. I don't think
Yeah,
like you're in the plane. You don't want to
yeah,
start too much commotion, but verbally, I would intervene and say a few words um to the individual.
gotcha,
Like, hey, what's your problem? Hey, don't you have a mom, a sister? What if I disrespected your mom like how you're disrespecting, this sister right here? You know what I mean? I kind of go through back and forth that way
gotcha.
to I guess calm the situation and just help him realize, hey, yo, bro, is this really warranted? Do you want your sister or mother or whomever you love to go through something that what this sister is going through? Like, would you? Is that fair? Is that fair to say? It'd be a verbal
A
jargon,
verbal, yeah, yeah.
fight
I
back
got you.
and forth.
I agree.
And because the fist fight thing, I don't. Again, I don't know her. You know what I'm saying? But I probably would say something like, "Yo, bro, man, chill out." You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
just you doing too much. You know what I
Got you.
mean? And do that. I do a verbal. So it'll be the case in point. It'll be a chill time, but it'll be a verbal back and forth
A verbal
between the
shit. Oh, I
individual.
got you. What do you
Yeah,
say,
if
G
he
Money?
right in front of me, yeah, I'm like, yo, man, I'm trying to get some sleep. Yo, you
Yeah.
bugging. It'll be one of those, to be honest. So, somebody put mind your business.
Mind
People
your business.
crazy out here. It's not
Crazy
worth
out
it.
here.
Yeah, I get it. But if you right in front of me, yo, you disturbing my peace. So it's kind of is my business because you're right in my space, and I can hear all the commotion and things going on. Yeah, so if I can help calm the situation in any such, I probably would in most cases.
Yeah, I got you. What do you
So
say, G Money?
Protect your queens. Protect our queens, right? And so I say that to say I'm never gonna as just as the man that I am, uh, I'm never gonna be able to say comfortably that I'm not going to protect someone that can't protect themselves. Now, does that mean that it's got to end in death and blood? It doesn't have to end that way, but I'm going to intervene in the best way I can, right? And my first conversation is going to be with this with the sister, right? So I'm going to try to talk to the sister and say, hey, listen, I'd love to kind of step in and help you out, but I need you to stop, right? I need you to stop because if you're going back and forth, you're adding fuel to the fire. Then I'm coming to him and I'm saying, listen, this needs to stop. This doesn't have to be this. But I can promise you, if you escalate, I'm not gonna sit here and watch you do that. So you're gonna have a whole nother brick wall to get through before you can even get to her, homie. Right? Because if that was my wife, if that was my sister, if that was my daughters, I would want someone, if I'm not there, to be able to stand in the gap. Right? So no, I'm about protecting the community. And I'm about making sure that those who can't protect themselves have some sense of protection. Listen. I think about all of these people who mourn their lost loved ones, and they're probably saying to themselves, "I wish someone had stepped in." Right?
yeah,
Trayvon Martin. I wish someone had just stepped in. It wasn't about killing George Zimmerman. It was about if someone had just stepped in, right? And listen, word on the street was Trayvon was whooping his ass. So it wasn't even about Trayvon in the fight, right? It was, why are we sitting here watching a child fight a grown man, right? At some point in time, we got to step in for those that don't know any better, right? You might find out later that person was mentally challenged. You may find out later that person just went through something. And as Boone said, people out here crazy, right? And if you
Yep.
can de-escalate the situation, you de-escalate it. The only reason why I don't like the options is because you don't give me the option to say chill and will. There's something in the gap of that, and I think that's where I'm at. Right, I'm on straight full de-escalation mode because I don't want to see it get where it needs to be. And listen, and if I'm on a plane, right, in all likelihood, my wife is with me, and she gonna be like, sit your ass down, right?
Yeah.
And
I
so
was
there's
just
going
going to
to be
say that too.
balance in
Yeah,
there,
Yeah.
right? But I will say this: I'm not going to ever, in any situation or circumstance, see a child or woman or anyone that seems to not be able to handle themselves or protect
Exactly.
themselves be attacked and assaulted for no reason. Now, if
Exactly.
she might be more gangster than me.
Yeah.
He might
If
have
she's
a
giving
bigger
it back to
problem.
him, then hey,
He might have a
that
bigger
thing.
problem on his hand.
She
yeah.
correct. She can
If she
handle her
give it,
own business,
yo,
and
I
and
agree with
that
both of you guys. Verbally
and now
step
in that
in.
situation,
Yeah.
she can handle her own. I don't need to intervene. But if she's meek and mild and just,
Yeah. And
that's
the
a
guy just
whole
being really
different
like
ball
doing
game.
this. Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
This
So
happens sometimes. You saw it, and then we'll do the round robin on I Stand Next. We'll come on the 2 hour mark with the guy. Do you remember the guy in the? I don't know if you remember the sister that was in the subway in New York. a guy was on her, just on her for no reason. Just and she's like, "Yo, what's your problem?" The guy's in his face, and a brother stepped up like, "Hey, look, man, chill out." Told him a few times to chill out. Then the brother dropped him cold, bam, dropped him. Like, So at the end of the day, hey man, this stuff happens. And I know I kind of switched up a little bit because I said, how far would you go to defend your family? I threw a little monkey wrench in there because, we have seen situations where this happens on airplanes and subways, grocery stores. So here's what I stand on. First of all, shout out to that brother, man. Hopefully whoever prison he's in, they're treating him like a king. He's doing good time. He's not doing a hard time. The brothers in there, let them just do his time and keep it moving. At the end of the day, defending your family. If you can't defend, and I see you, Boom. There are a lot of people who have stepped in and died as well. It's a tough call. And all. I've been in a situation just because the situation had a gun put on me. So do you want to die here or live to see another day? Tough call, but I'm not dying here if it's not family. No, I agree with you, Boom. And Boom, I did switch it up a little bit because the original conversation was about family. I threw a little monkey wrench in there. But at least here's what I stand on, man. Shout out to that brother, man. Hopefully he does some easy time. It's tough. I can't imagine him getting that phone call from his wife and his kids are screaming and crying in the background. Because we know they were. And he's wondering what's going on. And she's crying. They're crying. And you're probably hearing some dude in the background talking crazy. So at the end of the day, he went from 0 to 600. And he went over there and he's like, he went over there ready for whatever on demon time. And he knocked the guy out. Probably didn't know the guy was going to die. So at the end of the day, as far as men are concerned, you do whatever it takes to defend your family. Prison, jail, whatever. But you got to look at yourself in the mirror. And you never want to live the life of, man, should I have done more? Is my wife gonna look at me the same? Are my kids gonna look at me the same? Is my niece gonna look at me the same? Whoever, are they gonna ever look at me the same if I didn't intervene and step in and try to do something? So that's what I stand on, man. Again, shout out to that brother. Hopefully he comes home really soon because I'll never put a man down for doing what he has to do to protect his wife and his kids and his family, especially in a situation like that where somebody's attacking them after they were the one in the wrong. So that's what I stand on.
What I stand on, and it just made me realize there was a 4th of July that happened last year. I was in Miami with the kiddos, the whole family, we all there. Mom had took the kiddos to kind of celebrate. I guess they were doing face painting and some other stuff going on. It was an event that was out there, and me, my brother, Mrs. in the car. What was said? Got a phone call. My mom was on the phone irate. You gotta get your hands off me. Oh, you better move back. You better move back. And I guess she butt dialed us, and that's all we can hear in the background. Me and my brother in the car. Yo, we calling her, but we frantic. Yo, you got the kids? Yo, well, man, listen. Driver, step on it. Nigga, we took shirts off. Get to this place. Nigga, we footing it. Yo, we you could tell how we walking, how we bopping, shirts off, how we moving.
It's basically demon
mug on is business. Mom and she frantic. Yo, something happened. So we on go mode right now. I ain't looking at my brother. He ain't looking at me. We took shirts off. Everybody looking around like, yo, what's good? Oh, it's business. Oh, it's real business now. You understand? So we got to the event. It already had them be de-escalated. They yo, y'all good? Y'all good? Because they had some we had some people there and some cop friends or whatever that were there
Nice.
that knew the family, and they de-escalated the situation. Yo, mom, you all right? She mad. She pissed off. Yo, that mother, she going off on him. And my mom ain't no pushover, right? You know what I'm saying? You want the smoke, mommy. Mama Lump gonna give you the smoke. You know what I mean? So, but we were ready on go mode at that moment for the family. So I would say at that regard, if it's family member calling, wife, kids, you're gonna be on go mode, and you better be ready. Now, if you're not like that or any other way, it's something wrong with you.
Yeah, man.
Where's your lack of passion? Where's your lack of protection? Where's your lack of anything for your family? You know what I mean? So Buddy had to do that time, and it is what it is. So that's what I'm gonna stand on. He had to do what he had to do at the end of the day, and I sympathize and understand with that gentleman. So that's where I stand.
And let me take a half a second. I'm gonna let you jump in. There is a reason why I didn't use a scenario with moms. because I already knew what the answer would be for all of us.
Man,
So
listen,
there was
that's
no
why.
point. There was really no
But it
purpose in even me
reminded
giving a
me.
mom scenario. We all
It
know what time
reminded
it is
me
when it comes to
of that.
moms. So go ahead,
It's
G.
happening, bruh.
Yeah,
Like it
it's
was.
on.
I ain't even need to.
So it was
Nope.
no.
Listen,
That's why
we
I didn't
go.
give a
It's
mom
go mode.
scenario. That's why
It's go
I
mode.
didn't even go there. It wasn't even worth it. Not even wasting time.
Shit,
Talk
Mom
about a mom
Dukes, the
scenario.
one
So
who raised you.
go
Come
ahead.
on,
Go ahead,
dude.
G Money.
But go ahead.
Take us home. Take us home.
Listen, here's where I'm at, right? And I'm gonna make this. I promise you, I'm not gonna take a long time. I just want to say this: we have conversations like this so that we can prepare for the worst case scenarios in some of these situations. So if you don't have anybody that you can pick up the phone and call that can help put you in the right state of mind, because I'm gonna tell you, as much as you got to be willing to go to jail, as much as you got to be willing to die, your family is not better off with you in the grave or in the jail cell, right?
Yeah.
So do what you got to do to stay out of those type of situations, and teach your family, especially the queens in your life, how to stay out of those type of difficult situations and how to handle those situations when they occur, so that you don't have to go to jail. But if you do find yourself in that situation, listen, you gotta find a creative solution. But what we're talking about, to me, is the willingness to, right? The will to protect those that you love the most. And in that situation, I can assure you, if you are not, as a man, ready to stand in that gap, then you need to go check yourself, right? But I'm telling you now, what I stand on is build a community that will protect you from yourself, right? Everything that I do in my life is value based. My values have saved me from myself a million times. And when my values didn't do it, my family and my people around me did it, right? Which is why I said, I'm calling. I'm making every effort to not kill somebody else, because listen, I know real killers. And they've told me, bro, you don't want to live with that on your conscience for the rest of your life either. Regardless of the situation, right? When you got a body on your soul, that shit weighs a different kind of weight, right? And so you do what you can to avoid those situations. Be a man, be proactive, protect your family, put them in a situation, give them a mindset that allows them to navigate these things the way you would as a man. But when you find yourself with no other options, you must be willing to do whatever it takes to protect those that cannot protect themselves. And that is what I'm saying.
Yeah, man. Great stuff, man. Great show, fellas. I think we had 3 really good topics. I think the next time we're on is gonna be your birthday weekend, right, G Money?
You already know. Yeah.
So it's gonna be a fun show. Our next
Hey,
show.
and I do want to give a shout out too. I want to give a shout out too, because before we air again, it is the Queen's birthday, Miss Tia, right? Miss Tia will be having a birthday. I want to give a shout out to my sister, who will be having a birthday. I want to give a shout out to my father-in-law, who will be having a birthday. You know what I mean? Listen, I'm not gonna lie to you. I live in a Virgo world, surrounded by Virgos. You know what I mean? I live in a Virgo world surrounded by Virgos, and I've done nothing but give birth to Sagittarius. I've given birth to Sagittarius. I've given life to Sagittarius. So I just want to say, shout out to everybody. Make sure that you get in, because we're talking about killing people and this and that. Listen, find a way to make sure that you see the next sunrise. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. We
find a way
spread
to see
love.
the next sunrise, baby.
This is all for entertainment, and we spread love here at I Stand on That podcast.
It's only entertainment.
Yeah, man, we spread, but we stand on what we stand on, though. We stand on what we stand on. So next pod, we'll see you guys. That'll be Labor Day weekend. By then, there would have been 2 college football weekends. There'll be plenty to talk about. Maybe we'll do a little bit of drinking on the pod, since it'll be our brother Gary's birthday. So we'll have some drinks, some cigars, and we'll have some good conversation.
The Cash App will be in the chat. You can donate to the celebration.
And shout out to loyal listeners, Leslie and Miguel, who getting married on August 30th, that Friday. Shout out to y'all. You know, then we sipping on Get Deserved, Courtney. Shout out to you guys. Yeah, man. Shout out to you guys. Should be a great ceremony, great after party, great reception, and thanks for being loyal listeners. So shout out to y'all. But hey,
Hey, listen.
another
Also,
podcast over and done.
be sure to follow us. All of us individually.
Yep.
Mr. Daily Insight. I stand on that podcast as well. Make sure y'all subscribe
Yes.
to Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. We're very heavy on there as well. Make sure y'all follow us. Bring a friend, tell a friend. Next podcast, share this to someone else and tell them, hey, listen, man, they talked about some subjects, especially
Yeah, man.
if you should
Good show
pay
today.
or bring money for someone else's wedding to watch. So again, that's all we have.
Yeah. See
Y'all
y'all
be
soon.
great and see y'all soon, man.
See you in 2 weeks. Thank you.